all you need is a comfy place to lay down, whether that's a couple of mats or a couple of blankets. If you're comfortable on just your mat, that's fine. I just have a couple of blankets down. And then if you want, you can have a blanket up over your head to use when we get to Shavasana, or if you need a little support under the back of your head when you're laying on your back, because we're going to start laying on the back and then we're going to flip over and do some micro movements in some somatic movement. So start by just laying down on your back. Keep your knees bent. And if you want some height under your head, if that's more comfortable for you laying on your back, you can have some height under your head, that'd be fine. Right, so with your arms just by your sides, they can be palms up or palms down, whatever feels more comfortable for you. Feet hip width apart or so, comfortable bend on your knees. Right, you're going to take a deep inhalation and you're going to arch your back. So you're going to raise your navel up towards the ceiling. Right, and then you'll just go to what is a comfortable feeling of, oh, I feel those back muscles working. Hold that. And then as you release, don't think of the release as pushing the navel down. Let the release come because you're relaxing your back muscles. Right, and then we'll arch again. So on an inhalation, lift that navel up, let those back muscles contract. Take a breath. And then on an exhalation, you return by letting those back muscles release. Okay, now we'll do the curl. Right, so you're going to lift your head up slightly as you lift your pubic bone up. So you're going to press the lower back down into the floor. It's not a huge crunch. You just want to feel that those abdominal muscles are working. Hold that for a breath. And then don't drop your head. Think of letting all those muscles along the front of the body release. Just slowly lower back down to the floor. All right, one more like that. We'll do this on an exhalation. So on your exhalation, lift your head, lift your pubic bone. You'll really feel the back press into the floor. All that front chain of muscles contracting. And then with an exhalation, let those muscles release as you lower back down to the floor slowly. All right, and we'll go back and forth in between those. All right, so on your next inhalation, arch up, navel up towards the ceiling, back muscles are working. Hold. All right, and then on your exhalation, let those muscles release. Just slowly come down. Take a breath there. And on an exhalation, curl. Contracting the abdominal muscles. And to release, you're slowly letting those muscles release. You'll feel the neck muscles have to work, but slowly let the muscles release to come down. Take a breath. And on an inhalation, arch. Contracting those lower back muscles. On an exhalation, release. On an exhalation, curl. You're lifting the head, you're lifting the pubic bone. Abdominal muscles are working. And then with an exhalation, release. Right, and then just turn your palms to the ceiling, tuck your shoulder blades, straighten out your legs for a moment. Take a few deep breaths. Okay, and then you're slowly gonna roll over onto your stomach. Build this next movement very slowly. All right, so in your practice, you don't have to do it in one piece moving at a time. You can go to the final, but there's something about focusing on one muscle group at a time. All right, so you're going to lay with your, you can turn to whichever direction it is, makes you face the screen. All right, so turn your head towards the screen and let that arm be bent and your hand resting kind of up by your forehead. And then your other arm, just take it back and let it rest on the floor. All right, and then you all know belly back bends. Make yourself comfortable here. You're prone to some lower back issues. Turn the fronts of the thighs in, backs of the thighs out. Let that sacrum area release. Now, if it's not comfortable to have your head turned to the side like this because of neck issues, you can pull a blanket in and have your forehead down if you need to. Or another thing you can do is kind of put the blanket to one side so that you're more like on your eye than on your cheek, if that makes sense. Okay. All right. We're going to start now by just lifting the elbow, and you're only going to lift that elbow like an inch off the floor. And as you hold that elbow up, breathe through your nose. Notice the muscles around your neck and shoulder that have to contract. And rather than dropping your elbow, let those muscles release to lower the elbow back to the floor. When you're down on the floor, completely let muscles release. Take a breath or two. Okay. Lift again, elbow a little bit higher and hold. Just feeling those muscles contracting. Breathing as you hold that elbow up. And then to release, slowly lower the elbow. So you're slowly letting those neck and shoulder muscles release. The elbow is down, completely relaxed. All right, and then again, this time you're gonna lift that elbow up about as high as is comfortable. You'll really feel some muscles contracting. Hold that elbow up, let those muscles contract. And then you're slowly lowering that elbow, letting the muscles release. The elbow's all the way down. Completely relaxed. Now, you're gonna take that bent elbow hand and you're just gonna tuck it under your cheek. We're gonna lift the elbow and the head at the same time. The hand will come up this time. All right, so I'm just going to lift the elbow and lift the head. It doesn't have to be high. You're gonna feel those back muscles working. Breathing as you hold the head and the elbow up. And then slowly lowering so that it's the muscles relaxing, not the head and the elbow dropping. That brings you back down. When you're back on the floor, completely relaxed. Ready on your inhalation, lifting up. You can go a little bit higher if you want. Don't turn it into a huge belly back bend though. Exhale and release. Slowly down, letting those muscles relax. And one more time, lifting the head, the hand, the elbow, letting your muscles along the back contract. And whenever you're ready, you slowly lowering the head, lowering the elbow, letting all those muscles relax. Completely relax. You're back on the floor. Okay, now slide that hand back out there to the corner of the mat so your head can be a little more comfortable on the floor. And we're gonna lift the left leg. All right, so on an inhalation, just lift that left leg, and it's the leg. You're not lifting the foot. You want to keep a straight knee. Try to lift your knee and your thigh up a little bit. Feel this maybe more lower in the back. And then on an exhalation, you're letting those muscles release. Don't drop the leg. Slowly lower the leg. And inhalation, lift that left leg. Maybe you can go higher. You don't have to go higher. Find a good lift where you feel a nice contraction. And then whenever you're ready, exhale, lowering that leg, focusing those muscles to relax. One more time. Lifting that left leg, holding to your capacity. And slowly lowering, letting the muscles release. A couple of breaths, and we're going to put it all together. Tuck the back of that bent elbow hand under your cheek. And this time, as you lift head, hand, and elbow, you're also going to lift, opposite leg. I hope I did the right leg. Opposite leg. All right, so with an inhalation, lift. You're lifting the bent elbow and then the opposite leg. So it's a cross body work. And then with an exhalation, you're slowly letting everything come back to the floor. And relax when you get down onto the floor. Up, head, hand, elbow, leg. Hold. Breathe. You're not holding your breath. You're holding the muscles. And then with a long, slow exhalation, you're slowly lowering, letting the muscles release as you come down. Completely relax when you touch the floor. One on this side, lifting, head, hand, elbow, leg, letting those muscles contract. Breathing as you hold. And then slowly lowering, letting those muscles release. That bent elbow, you can slide it down, just rest with both arms by your side. You can pull a blanket under your forehead if you want, or you can just stay with the head turned to the side. Then you're gonna do the opposite. So you can turn away from the camera if you want. If you prefer to switch yourself around so you can still see the screen. All right, so we're gonna start all over on the other side. So your opposite arm now will be bent. You'll be looking toward that arm. And then the other arm will just be straight by your side. All right, so keeping the hand down, you're just gonna lift the elbow about an inch off the floor and hold. Slowly lowering that elbow down. When it touches the floor, completely let those muscles relax. Take a breath. The elbow a bit higher. Feeling the muscles that get engaged as you go a little higher. Slowly release. It's down, completely let go. You can even kind of wiggle side to side a little bit to kind of coax those muscles to relax. All right, lifting the elbow quite high now. Don't go to where there's any pain. You just want to feel there's a little bit more contraction. What we're doing is we're training those muscles to release. Slowly start to lower that elbow. Down. Really let go. Tuck that hand under your cheek. And we'll lift the head, the hand, and the elbow together. Okay, so do that on an inhalation. Lifting just enough that you feel the contraction. It's gonna be more along that bent elbow side and high up. Just hold to your capacity whenever you need to. Let the head, the hand, the elbow slowly lower. And completely release. Then head, hand, elbow. Just to your capacity. Breathing as you hold. Slowly lowering, letting muscles release. Once more. Inhale, lifting up. Lift the elbow some. With a long, slow exhalation, releasing the muscles to bring the head and the arm back down. You can slide the hand out from under your head when you get down and just completely relax. Okay, now I'm not gonna say right or left, but you're gonna do the opposite leg of the bent elbow. All right, so head and arm will stay down. You're gonna lift at the knee and the thigh, not just the foot, the knee and the thigh lifting. Holding. This is gonna be more in the lower back. And when you're ready, you slowly bring that leg back down. Slowly letting those muscles along the back release. The leg is down, completely let go. Opposite leg, knee and thigh. Feeling that work across the lower back. Breathe as you hold, and whenever you need to lower the leg, you can lower the leg. Do that with an exhalation. Everything is down, completely let go. Last time with just the leg. Inhale and lift. Hold. Slow. Lower that leg. Completely relax. And wiggle your hips side to side a little bit to get those muscles to relax. Right. Putting it all together now. Tuck that hand under your cheek there. So as the head and arm lift, the leg lifts. So it's opposite arm, opposite leg. You just go to your capacity. Hold to your capacity. Breathe while you're holding. And when you're ready, everything slowly lowers. So the muscles are slowly releasing. Bring it down, just let that breath out and relax. Holding to your capacity, feeling that contraction. Whenever you're ready, you slowly, slowly lower. Down, completely let out that breath and release. Last one. Inhale, lifting head, arm, leg. Holding that contraction. Still running, you start to slowly lower everything back down to the floor. So everything touches down, you can slide that hand out from under your head. Let everything release. You can take that bent elbow, straighten that arm down by your side. To turn over onto your back. Decide which way you're gonna roll. Take that arm up over your head, and then with the opposite arm and leg, you can push And you'll roll onto your side. And then you can roll onto your back. Line up the hips and shoulders, have bent knees. We're just gonna do a couple of the curls because we've done a lot of arching. So we'll do a couple of curls. Right, so with your arms by your sides, you'll bring that pubic bone up as you just lift your chin. You don't have to lift your shoulder blades. We're not doing a crunch. We're just letting those muscles lightly contract. And then when you're ready on an exhalation, you slowly release. So everything touches back down, completely let go. Right, and then one more time, pubic bone up, tuck your chin towards your chest, let those abdominal muscles contract. Make sure you're breathing as you're holding. And then slowly bring everything come back down to the floor. Completely relax. Okay, and then you decide if you want to pull some more padding under your head. Turn your palms towards the ceiling. You can stay with bent legs or you can go to straight legs. And then just notice from the back of your neck down just past your lower back. See if you can let those muscles go. So all of this somatic movement that we do is to allow muscles that are tense to find a release. So maybe it's a repetitive motion. Typing on the computer can really tighten up the shoulders, so we're just allowing the shoulders to release. You have chronic pain, like a chronic lower back, you tend to tighten those muscles all the time. So we're just trying with some repetitive contracting and releasing to get those muscles to let go. Couple of deeper breaths. Bend your elbows and let your palms rest anywhere on your torso. Take another couple of breaths and feel the breath with your hand. Slowly bend your knees. The soles of your feet connect with the floor. Slowly roll onto your side, whichever side is most comfortable or convenient. Take all the time that you need on your side. When you're ready, ask your arms to sit up. Your head low, your eyes closed. And take a moment to thank yourself for coming to class, continuing your practice. Slowly raise your head. Slowly open your eyes. Have a lovely rest of the week.